Hi everyone, we're now on chapter 4, which is about systems of equations, and so we're going to be solving them by different methods. This method is by graphing, so that means that we have to do a bunch of graphing on this section. But first, we're going to decide if some ordered pairs are solutions. Now, a system of linear equations can have two or more equations, and we're just going to start with this first let me get my purple on here. Okay, so we're going to take 2 times 5 plus the y is 0. And we're checking to see is this true or not. And we see that 10 is equal to 5. And so this one means since this equation is a no, then the answer is no. This cannot be a solution unless it's a solution to both equations. Now let's work with the 2, 1. So I'm going to have 2 times 2 plus 1 for the y equals 5. So that's 4 plus 1 equals 5, and that is a yes. Now we check the other equation. And so 2 goes in for x, 1 goes in for y, and we're checking to see if this equation is also going to equal 5. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. This one is also a yes. So we're going to say yes. 2, 1 is a solution to this particular system of equations. All right, next. So we're going to go through the same process. Notice these two equations are written a little bit differently. They're just not in the order that the other ones were. So let's take the first equation, right? The x plus 5y equals negative 4, and we're going to substitute. So negative 4 goes in for x, 5 goes in, or 0 goes in for 5. I'm going to change the position of that y. And so we end up with negative 4 plus 0 equals negative 4, and that is a yes. Okay, so then we have to check the second equation. So we're going to have negative 2 times negative 4 equals 10 times 0 plus 8. So that's a positive 8 equals 8. That's a yes. So yes, negative 4, 0 is a solution to this system. Now we're going to try this other ordered pair. Same thing, so I'm going to put 6 in for x and negative 2 in for y in each equation. And I'm going to check this, right? So that's 6 plus negative 10, or you could just say minus 10, equals negative 4. And that is true, right? Because that is negative 4 on the left-hand side. So this is a yes. In the second equation, I'm going to have negative 2 times 6 equals 10 times negative 2 plus 8. So negative 12 equals negative 20 plus 8. That is a yes. So yes, this ordered pair is a solution. So this ordered pair is a solution to this system, and so is negative 4, 0. And we just chose some different ones to show you. Okay. Whoops. Next. Okay, so now we're going to graph. And honestly, if you can do these very neatly, that is important because you're trying to find the place where they intersect. Now, writing on my surface, I might not be able to do so well with these. Sometimes I try using rulers, and it might work a little bit. Okay. So I am actually going to solve each equation for y because I feel like that's really the quickest way to graph. So on the first equation, all I have to do is subtract the x, right? Subtract x from both sides. So y equals negative 1x plus 3. Okay, so let's graph this equation. And I'm going to graph this in purple and then use different colors to help you guys figure this out. And so this has a slope of negative 1 over 1, and the y-intercept is at 0, 3. Maybe some of you will get better at finding these things on this chapter because you practiced it in chapter 3 and now you're seeing it again in chapter 4 on the graphing. So I put a point at 3, and then using my slope I'm going to count to find some other points. So I count down 1, right 1, and then I count down 1, right 1. Now I usually do this a few times, down 1, right 1, because sometimes that helps us find the intersection if we keep counting. And of course we don't have the other we haven't started even graphing the other one yet. Alright, so I put a few of those there, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw this line. Don't forget to always draw your lines, you guys, when you're graphing. On the test that I've graded some of the test. Whoops, that happens a lot on this. I don't know why. Well, I sort of hit the points. I am actually trying to use a ruler on my surface. Alright, so I'm going to hope that this works out. Because if you get your line a little bit off, you can certainly be off. Now I'm going to work with a different color. So on the second equation, I'm going to subtract x on both sides. And then divide everything by -1. So y equals 1x this time minus 5. So I have a slope of 1 over 1, an intercept at 0, -5, because remember y equals mx plus b. Okay, so now we're going to graph this one. I have a point at 0, -5. This one has a positive slope, so I'm going to count up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. You see what's happening? So I'm just going to intersect this other line right here at, oh, that's decent, not terrible. Oh, why does it have to do those silly things? I have to always keep drawing it again. Not easy, you guys. It'll be a lot easier on paper with a ruler. But my ruler slides on my surface, so you know I'm close enough. We can tell that we have an intersection right here at 4, -1, so that is my solution. Alright, so I'm going to stop this video and we'll pick up some more graphing on the next video.